Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another fun block for our Blue Monday sew-along. Yes, it's Blue Monday, yay! So we have some of the blocks that we've done already, and there's a funny story about this one, but we'll get into that later while we're sewing. This one is called Triple Shoofly. Now, a shoofly block is very simple, it's beginner friendly, and it's got just the triangles, the center square, and, light, low volumes usually around it. And it's just a really cute little square. But we're dressing this up a little bit and playing with it a bit. So this is going to be just awesome. Now, you guys have got to get into those show notes to be able to get into those description boxes, because there's so many things I have to talk to you about today. First off, I do speaking engagements for free. So if you want to get a hold of me, you go either by email or you can go in and message me through the Facebook group. I speak for free for quilting groups and quilting guilds. So if your guild or group wants to talk about scraps, elements of design, free sew-alongs, free patterns, all the fun things that are in part of my journey on YouTube, please put my name forward. I also do a big little speech about doing charity quilts, right? So, I mean, this is something that your community service person would probably be interested in. Now, that's the first thing. So Yeah Brothers, or So Yeah out of Vegas, like So Yeah Quilting, it's a quilt store in Vegas. They are running their charity drive for Alaska homeless people. Now, go to their website is in there. You go to them and find out. But the people who participated last year in this charity drive, they had a blast. They had so much fun. And it's a worthwhile charity, so, they'll probably be happy to talk to you more about it. Now, our community round robin is on. So look at the schedule in the show notes or the description box as to which block we're on and which round we're on, and I've listed all of them there, so you know that if you're like later and you're past July 9th, because that's when we start this, is you have to go back through my videos and then go through their videos, right? So we're doing this with Future Cat from New Zealand, Kelly from Kelly Quilts and Cruises, Michelle from Bits and Pieces. Those blocks we made were just wonderful. I just never had such a fun time in a group. I enjoyed it very much, and there was a lot of giggling and laughing, and there was some whip cracking too, but I mean, it was all good. But it was all good, and it was so much fun, and the blocks are fun to sew as well. Now, the other thing you're going to find in the description box is our Facebook group, or Growing Rapidly. We do all the same things Facebook groups do, but we have a bunch of community chats going on. We do fabric swaps, we do recipe exchanges, we find free patterns on different websites and we post them. We have a community chat just devoted to free patterns, and we also do a virtual sewing room under Discord, and the ladies announce when they're going in there, so you never know really when who you're going to be sewing with, but there's lots of fun in there, and they have just a great time. You never know who it is that you're going to be sewing with, but it's open 24/7. And if you announce when you're going in, just before you plan to go in, you might have some other members join, right? So I mean, you have a virtual sewing date like 24/7. We also have the Zoom sew date, which is once a month from now until the end of December, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we enjoy that very much. That is so much fun. I get lots done that day. Everybody does some show and tell, and we all talk about different things that are inspiring us as quilters, and we just have a blast, just a total blast. Now, for the gossip, for the hot gossip. Yours truly is going to be part of Conquer Your Fabric Scrap Summit with Nicky from the Ruffled Purse. Now, she asked me a while ago, and we've been working with her to, get my intro and get my class or the lesson video tutorial that I was going to get up on there. Now, there's also at some point here going to start appearing affiliate links. This is a free event as long as you're within that August 15th to August 18th, I believe. I'm not sure yet, right? All the dates, we'll confirm the dates, but it does start August 15th. I'll start advertising the affiliate link August 1st. But what happens is you can have that extended. So let's say you're on holidays and you want to extend it for a week. Well, now you have to pay for that. But I mean, it is something that, if you want it, it's there. And there's a number of very talented teachers that are there with us. So that's all I'm going to say for now, because that's all I know for now. But did I do my shout out? I forgot my shout out. Bristol Blue, right? Now I couldn't find a new name. She appears to be a new channel. So this I thought was Bristol Blue on Blue Monday. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's give her a shout out. And like I say, go give her some love and encouragement and tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Now let's get into our Triple Shoofly. Okay, we are at the sewing machine. Now I have cut my half square triangles with the easy angle triangle ruler. Now if you don't have that, I have given you cutting instructions in the show notes below. This is like for the entire block, but I've given you cutting instructions for these. My triangles are 1/2 inch unfinished square, right? So that's, they're pretty tiny. Now, because they're tiny, sometimes people want to use a stiletto or something to sew with. Now this is a real stiletto, right? My husband bought me this. I have no idea where he got it. I probably got it from Amazon. You can use a knitting needle, a double-ended knitting needle, or you can use your stitch ripper, right? I mean, the stitch ripper's got a really fine point on it, so it would work as a stiletto. I'm kind of on the fence with a stiletto. This is not, I mean, I have sewn with it. I find it slows me down. So, but I mean, it's up to you whether or not you want to learn how to use that. Now, I've got a bunch of these here. So we always start with the hardest stuff first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with sewing these together. Because once you see this, you're going to go, oh, okay. And I mean, there is a way of doing this that it's not so fiddly, but tiny fiddly. But yeah, we decided we wanted to play and have something a little lacy. It kind of gives it's a cool effect actually with this Triple Shoofly. And basically, you take the pattern and you make rounds, right? Make it go 3 rounds instead of the normal 1 round. I mean, a double Shoofly would have only 2 of these rounds, not 3, but yeah, I figured, okay, let's play with something lacy and make it cute, and we'll have some fun with it. Okay. And I wanted a delicate looking block. It's nice to throw in chunkier blocks and then delicate looking blocks. People ooh and ah over all these delicate looking blocks, but they're more fiddly. And that's okay. Fiddly is good. And I was surprised how much, I had to go through my blues quite a bit here to find blues that were big enough for this. Because I wanted to use like the dark medium lights. And I think the darks make the biggest impact statement that's why they're, the smaller pieces. Okay. And lastly, there. Okay. Now, we're just going to cut all these apart. I'm just going to run my plug through here. Get the last one off. Probably get a new plug, because this one looks like it's been run over 1,000 times. But yeah, so we're still having lots of fun with this blue, and I think it's going to be a cute charity. Now I'm just going to turn my mat so you can see this hopefully a little better. I'm going to start with all the blue up, and I'm pressing to the dark. Right, very quick, very simple. And you can cut your, now it's up to you whether you want to cut your dog ear off first. I mean, it might be easier to sew if you cut it off first, but just cut all of them here real quick, give them a quick trim. With the easy angle ruler, one ear is already trimmed. Now I like mine trimmed a little bit steeper than the 90 degrees, but I'm okay with it because it speeds along my quilting. Now, this is perfect if you've got a whole bunch of little half square triangles that you're not sure what to do with. This is a perfect block for them because you can put any color in. You can make this totally scrappy. I decided to make them all dark, but you could put any color you want. And when we're doing Blue Mondays too, don't limit yourself to, oh, I have to do a blue. No, you don't. You can do whatever color you're with. If you're overrun with browns or greens or, you know, pinks, do that. You know, do that instead. That works. And if it makes you happy, why not? But yeah, but yeah, this Blue Monday has been pretty good. I've actually made quite a deep dent in my blue bin. And I must confess, I did give some away to my friend. And she sent me back some amazing oranges and reds and pinks and yellows. And I thought, ooh, so pretty. And so I have a bunch of fat quarters that wouldn't fit in the bin. So when that happens, I start to panic a little bit because, wow, that's a lot of stuff that won't fit. Okay, here we go. There's all of them. Now I finger press, and you see me finger press all the time. And guys, I can literally do a cut drywall with my nails. So what I'm going to do, I'm quickly pull out the center because that's where this is going to go. All of these are going to go here, and then we'll do another. So what we're going to do is we're going to web the center first. Right now, this is a typical shoe fly. This one here, all by itself, right? And it's going to be just so cute and so adorable because it's so tiny. There we go. Get that off. Oh, that would help if I cut it. Now I tend to web because that's the way I like to sew. There we go. Just line them up. Take your time. Line them up. Make it nice. Okay. So now you're going to take the top and line it up with this, you know, and get that all nicely lined up. There we go. That's the nice thing about when you're webbing a block together like this. You can always check your work before you get too far in. Like if I were to sew a half square triangle on this the wrong way, I might only have one seam to undo, right? Instead of having it after you've sewn all the way around it, it's like, oh dear, yeah, then it's too late. Okay, so let's put this through, and there we go. Now, quickly, there we go. This might take a bit of work here. Now, the seams want to go in. So what you want to do is press this so it goes, the white goes in on itself. And the blue in the center, of course, now has to go out. Right? So you want that center to nest. So this is how you're going to press it, right? And this goes out, this goes in because of that seam. It wants to push that way, so you might as well let it happen. And I doubt if you'll have too much to show through. Okay, now I'm just going to clip this so I can see and I get a good solid nest. There we go. Nice sharp nesting happens. There. Oh. Okay, now flip this out. There we go. Now, we're going to do the same thing again on the other side. Okay, and like I drop my needle in, and then I make my first nest, and then I make my second nest. Oops. Okay, it wants to be stubborn. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. So, okay, now this gets pressed out. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to transfer the next center row, just like that. We're just going to pull them out from the center, and we're going to turn these in like this, just like that. Basically, we're building this block from the inside out, right? So we're going to sew this one first, and we're just going to keep webbing. That webbing is such a beautiful trick. It is such a easy way to do stuff. Right, this just seems to be a little on the long side. We'll fix that. Okay, go. Here. That was a little long too. What's going on? Okay. Any other long ones here? Oh yeah, that one's sticking out too. I don't know why they're long, but oh well. Trim them up, it's fine. Okay, what am I doing? This. Okay. Here we go, just like so. And, okay, like that. And the plug goes back in. There. You could also do leader enders in between here if you needed to. So this now goes like that. As this thing gets bigger, it becomes more awkward. Okay. Now that's, I've got some length here that I don't need. Why? I've got some length here. Okay. I think all we're doing is we're trimming off 1/8. And that might have been me sewing it wrong. So, and that's okay. Oops, let's go this way. And we put the bigger piece on the bottom so we can let the feed dogs do the work by pulling up any slack now. And just like that, line it up, run it under. There. Okay. So this is going to automatically want to push out because there's 2 seams, and this is going to want to push in because of the triangle. Here we go. And you just fold it so it's under. Okay, so now we're going to run the other way. You can see that, right? You can see what we did. Okay, so now we're going to run it the other way. Okay, line up that first seam so you get a nice crisp. Oops, there we go. Nest. There we go. Okay. And when we line up the next seam, and we get everything to lie as flat as we can. Oops, that's not going to work. Oh, that's, my needle is down. I could flip it. It flipped the wrong way. Oh no. Oh well. There. There. Okay. Now. Okay, so we turn this. We're going to get this block further and further away. We might as well just turn it around, right? Like that. Okay. So this, right? Like this. Okay. You're like, oh my goodness. We got to do this one more time with a longer piece. So I like to clip this so I can get a really good view as to where to nest that. Right? Because I want that to nest beautifully. And then this has to nest. And I'm going to hold it a bit because there's a little bit that has to come together. So the bigger part's on the bottom. Okay, line that up perfectly. There we go. I know some of you are going, wow, you're really close to that needle with your fingers. I know I am. I'm sorry if I'm scaring you. Okay. Okay, so now we do another one. One more round of this. So basically, this is what we're doing next, right? With the little triangle corners, all pointing in. Your triangles always point in on a shoe fly, right? So now, we're just going to run this through. Start at the upper left-hand corner. Okay, here. Okay. There we go, and we'll get that sewn together. There we go. Well, this one seriously has to. Okay. Now, last piece. Where did this go? Okay. Oh no. Okay, just like so. When your plug or your leader ender. Okay, so now these are going to fold out like that. Okay. Or they're going to fold this way, and this is going to just fold out just like that. Nice. And we start with this side here. Okay. Okay, here we go. Get that lined up, drop a few stitches. Okay, get this lined up. Ease all my seams in. There we go. Oops. And the last one goes here. So we're done putting all the little blue triangles on. Oh, we gotta sew it the other way yet, but okay. Okay, so this goes out like that. This goes in this way, and this goes in. Here we go. Now, we're just going to flip this over. This is, like I say, it's a little fiddly, but it's worth it. Okay. My needle down, I'm going to clip this. Okay. With my needle down, I'm going to clip it and make my first nest. There. And make my second nest. And yes, there's a little fullness because my 1/4 inch seam might be off, but that's okay. You can ease the block in. And basically what easing is you put the larger piece on the bottom and you'll let the feed dogs feed it through correctly so that it looks right. Okay. And here we go. Now, it doesn't normally cause any ripples or ruffles if you do it that way, but it will iron flat. There we go. Okay, now I'll do the other side. Okay. Okay, now this goes like this. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of seams in this little block already, but it's working. It'll work. And when you're pressing, use your clapper. You know, that's important. Use your clapper. And then get a nice flat as you can product. Okay, now this outer light does not have any little triangles. But you can see how that little, you know, the Triple Shoofly. And you have, when you're using it, use water and a clapper, and this thing will lie flat, right? It's a little bowing, but that's okay. So let's add the tops on first. Okay. Let's add that top. Okay, come on. There we go. Let's go. Flip it over. There. There. And then we'll add the bottom. And basically what this is doing is giving all those little seams in here a place to lay and giving it a little more depth, right? The block. It's almost cupping, but it will, once I hit it with my clapper, it'll be flat. It'll be nice and flat. Okay, line up my end. My 1/4" seam must be off a little bit more than I realized, but that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes it's good to know how to fix your 1/4" seam than it is how to make one. So, I mean, that's what quilting and some of this is all about too, right? You know, it's like, how do we fix this? Okay, now. Okay, there we go. There. And okay, one more. And then we add that outer border. And that outer border is going to make it a 12.5" unfinished block, which will finish at 12 inches. Okay. Okay, now let's add the outer border. Basically, I think they call this just a stop border. There. There. Now, and we add the bottom. Okay, there we go. Okay, and now the sides, one side and then the other side. I'm just going to take both sides off of here and put this board away. Okay, there. Okay. Line up that side. Yeah. There we go. There. Now, okay, line up that edge, right? Okay. Alrighty. So let's give this a real good press, some water, and we'll do a Tadam moment. Now you can see we do have some fullness, but I didn't iron this with water, so maybe this will all shrink into place and lay really flat. But I am definitely going to do an iron, a little bit of water, and a clapper to get this all flat. Okay, let's get to our Tadam moment. So here's our big Tadam moment. Okay, now I did have a little fullness, so I want to give you a tip on how to get rid of your fullness, right? This middle square, the first round, trim it to 3.5 inches square, right? That right there will give you a big bonus. The next round, the second round around that middle shoe fly, trim to 5.5 square. Like we're talking like you're only going to be trimming off little threads here and there. The next one will be 7.5 and then 9.5. That's your measurements for the center block, then the next 3 rounds, right? And then this won't have any fullness at all. Now I was able, because I wet the fabric and then I pressed the fabric, right? So I'm not holding it to dry it. It shrunk some, so I don't have as much fullness now as I did. And it will quilt out. That fullness will quilt out. By the time this is put into a quilt and quilted, it'll quilt out. But if you're doing lots of these blocks, because they're just so cute, you know, you want to do something a little more, you know, like where you're measuring and trimming. Measuring and trimming, measuring and trim, right? So that's probably a really important thing when you're working with smaller piecing too, because this is 1.5 inch strips, right? So anyways, I do hope you give this one a try. Yes, it's a little fiddly, but you gotta admit it's cute, right? Okay, so you have a great week ahead. Until we meet again, you stay well and take care. Bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, you know, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, you know, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!